Concerning politics and professionally related politics, we should both work on the same or at least similar strategies in order to sharpen our common arguments and to save unnecessarily lost energy. We should bundle our efforts. Do you see any possibility and willing of the AAEM to start a cooperation with the European Academy for Environmental Medicine?
Absolutely. Yes. This was brought up a few years ago after I had the initial contact here. I believe some of the other doctors have had some contact, and I would expect a very warm reception to the idea of cooperating.
Thank you. What are the most important findings you have been contributing to an environmental and public health research lately?
So lately, most of my focus has been on taking care of patients. So what that leaves me is, like some of the other docs in this field, a large amount of clinical information that is just waiting to be analyzed and used. And that is the challenge. I have written some papers, done some review articles on ochratoxin and mold illness and mechanism of injury and treatment. But most of my focus recently has been on the treatment approaches. Getting that data out of the doctor's offices and into the literature is a project. It takes time, it takes money to get that step. So that is an area I would love to focus on in the future, is to get the clinical data that will either confirm or deny what we're seeing with our patients.
Is there any, let's say in future, is there any possibility to work with institutional research?
I would expect so, yes. Yeah, I think that would be a very logical next step. And presenting what we're doing and presenting an argument to them, I truly do believe that we're at the time where that would be well received as well. So I think that could be an area that we cooperate on, is how to approach these institutions most effectively to get the grants that would be needed to do comprehensive research. Yeah.
The last question, thank you. Could you mention a couple of most important research gaps in environmental medicine?
I would say it was similar to what we were just discussing. A lot of the gaps in the literature have to do with our treatment approaches. Those of us taking care of patients know what we're seeing, and we know what works for a large number of patients. Of course, nothing works for everybody, but that is the area I would most like to see attention in, so that we can most efficiently treat our patients. The diagnostic side, of course, it could use some research, but I feel like that's a little more solid right now than comprehensively understanding treatment approaches. Because we all have things that we do them because they work. Sometimes they don't work. What else might work? You know, why did it not work for that group? We just saw the chronic fatigue study. You know, about 60% respond to one treatment. That's useful information. I would love to have more of that information in environmental medicine.
So this might be a point of cooperation as well.
Absolutely.
If we work together. Thank you very much for this interview, and we hope to see you and find you here on our congresses next year or the year afterward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, very much. Thank you so much for inviting me. I always learn a lot from these meetings, and really appreciate getting to interact with all the other neat doctors here.
Thank you.
Thanks.